All right, man, we back. All right, man, we finna go into the Universal Thought Podcast segment where we dive deep, man. So this is the part where I pick your brain and try to, see how you actually think.
All
right. So let me ask you a question. So imagine you could press a reset button on your life. Mm-hmm. No trauma, no scars. Would you press it?
No.
And why?
No, I wouldn't press it.
You wouldn't press it?
Like I said earlier, sometimes we fight against life.
Yeah.
Right? And sometimes I had to come to an understanding, right, that the only reason we are put on this earth is to pass on information to the next generation to make it better.
Right.
And I had to look at it like my life was a sacrifice. There's lessons behind this that need to be passed on. That's why I decided to get into mentoring and writing this book as well. So just like, I'm not saying I'm Martin Luther King or nowhere near it, but Martin Luther King's life was a sacrifice. Malcolm X's life was a sacrifice. I'm not on those guys' level, nowhere near it. But you have to understand that everything that you go through in life is for a reason. And your life is not for you. Your pain isn't for you, it's for the next generation.
Awesome, exactly. Say that all the time too. Don't consider stuff that you go through, just for you. Mm-hmm. You and your emotions is irrelevant. Correct. But somebody else that could be, on their last dying day, mm-hmm. they can see another day just by hearing, just by you expressing, you went through the same thing and you can help them get through it.
Oh, most definitely.
That too. So how long have you been mentoring?
10 years.
10 years?
10 years.
Okay.
I've seen groups of young men come through the Memphis Grizzlies Foundation's mentoring program. And, sometimes I get a message from like their parents or from them and tell them thank you, or he didn't stepped up in the household and he didn't start doing this. I've been mentoring. So the way that it works is there's 3 men and 6 young men. It's gender specific. So if you are, they have a program, they go into schools, which they do have young ladies and young men. They get mentored, but I've been with them for 10 years, absolutely.
And who are you with?
The Memphis Grizzlies Foundation.
Oh, okay.
Team mentoring program, yes.
Gotcha, okay. Do you deal with a lot of kids that have childhood traumas?
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
This year, we were talking about mental health, and one of the young men was like, I'm so glad that we're talking about this. Now, mind you, this is 7th and 8th grade. We are mentoring 7th and 8th grade young men, and we don't hold back conversation from the situation, from it. That's what we're here for, to pass on this information. Because there is a curriculum, but they ask us to add in life experience. And when, like me, myself, through my life experience, I add mine in. And then also one of my co-mentors, he's lived a different life, different style. He played in the NBA and now he's part owner of the team. And he put in his perspective on it. Mm-hmm. So they get to see success in 2 separate ways.
Right. Okay. All right. I'm gonna go back to that in a minute, man.
Okay.
If your trauma gave you a superpower or deeper wisdom, what do you think it'd be?
The ability to just keep moving forward. Some people, I would look at that as a superpower because some people get stuck in life.
Right. Yeah.
They get stuck in a certain phase or a certain time period in their life, and they're not able to move forward.
Right.
At all. So being able to deal with pain and be able to move forward no matter what it takes, I have to keep going.
Why do you think people, now this is the crazy part about it. I run into people a lot of the times from maybe my old neighborhood. Mm-hmm. Now I'm not in my old neighborhood regularly, but I had to go there from time to time. I still see some of the people that's like, they still there. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And you got people that'll say you changed. Mm-hmm. Why do you think people don't accept change, as a part of like life. Like, why do you think people think you're supposed to stay the same? Even after all you've been, you go through situation and you don't let your situation change who you are. Like, you're supposed to change.
Right, most definitely. Everybody's a caterpillar. Everybody's at some point you're gonna have to fly away. You can't just stay in one. You can't stay stagnant. So that's just like water, right? Water gives life to everything on this planet. But if it's stagnant, it'll kill. Being stagnant will kill. If you look at the state of us, we're stuck in a situation where we can't get past. We've taken these words, these stop snitching, and keeping it real. And look, let me tell you something. Keeping it real is taking care of your family.
Right.
Keeping it real is bettering yourself. Keeping it real is moving from who you were 5 years ago to where you are at now. Keeping it real is not staying stagnant. Keeping it real is not, I let that go years ago.
Right.
I let that go years ago. The only way I keep it real is trying to better my family situation, trying to better the future generations. As a man, I'm here to provide and to protect. So I can make money. I'm good at that.
Yeah.
And I can definitely protect, and I'm good at that. So
right.
If it's not about my family, if it's not about your family, you might need to rethink your thought process.
Yeah.
Yeah. People get stuck in this mindset. I don't understand, because you can sit up there and see people doing things like, oh, you didn't change. I was like, oh, well, you stayed the same. So
right. I mean, I don't know if I was supposed to be offended by that.
No, that's a good thing, I believe.
Right.
Thank you for telling me I moved forward.
One of the best compliments somebody could ever give me is that you different. If you telling me I'm different, you're telling me that everybody else is the same. Right. Because being the same is different. I'm the same, but I've always been comfortable with who I am.
Gotta be.
So when I'm talking to you, you feel a authenticity. Like, man, you, or you different. It's the same. Because I'm different because I'm not the same.
Right.
But I'm the same.
I'm the same. I'm still gonna be me.
But if you talk to somebody else, he gonna remind you of 10 other people. Obviously, ain't nothing different about them.
Nothing.
Right. So
nothing. See, that's look at like this situation with this presidential thing. They was like, you got to pick a seat, either you this or you that. People try to put everybody into a box so they can have an understanding or try to comprehend you best. Just like, if you just look at the world itself, like scientists, right? They try to dumb things down so that we can understand it.
Right.
We don't know all the intricacies that goes behind any of this. Right. But we try to make it small so we can understand it. And that's why I think people try to put everybody in. You got to be in this box or this box. If you're doing something else and following your beat for your own drum, like look at Andre 3000. He's been doing his own thing and different for all these years. Right. And he is so happy with himself. If we had more Andre 3000s or more Kanye West that go off the deep beaten path, that don't follow the mundane and the social engineering of life, I think we will be able to get further in life.
Right.
Most definitely. As a whole. Most definitely.
And that's a whole different conversation in itself. Because I'm telling you, yeah. All right. Let me ask you this. What does forgiveness mean to you? And this is something that you've had to confront, of course, you had with your situation. But what does it actually mean to you?
Growth.
Okay.
If you hold in hate, it's like, it's a negativity that holds on to you. You ever seen that movie Ghostbusters? Remember when it was the original, they were talking about like he's just all this hate inside of him and it made him strong, but it doesn't do that. It makes holding on to something or someone that is that's caused problems or anything like that to you will slow you down. It'll drag you down. It's a ball and chain that holds on to you because you're still stuck in that moment. You're still stuck in that moment of that hurt or that pain. You haven't let it go yet. Because when I forgave that young man, I had to look at it as he played his part.
Right.
There's nothing on this planet I haven't done.
Right.
Sometimes I might look at that as a curse, but he played his part. I've done almost everything on this planet except for bring life onto it. And that, some people can look at that as a curse. Sometimes I do.
Yeah.
But gotta let it go. You gotta let it go. You gotta move forward, and it gets greater later.
It get greater later.
Yeah.
Right. When you say you forgave him. Now I have a struggle with this, right? I don't have a problem with forgiving nobody. I can't deny how I feel about things, but I've grown to suppress how I feel to think first with every situation that I deal with. Like you said earlier, I just really kind of cut people off. Some people, like my girl, she'll say sometimes, well, do you think you was maybe a little harsh, or you ain't gonna, I can't. The purpose of me separating myself from people ain't always about me.
Right.
If I know you personally, if I know you, I'm really giving you time to face yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I had to do the same thing. Most people talk about change as if it's something that can happen overnight. And I know it's a process. I had to sit in the dark room myself like 2.5 years, 3 years, just to I've been through, like, it gotta be something better than this. I'm going through too much and I'm getting out of a dark relationship. So let me get my mind back right, because she messed me up.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So I know what change looks like. But I always say to myself, I want to still keep my edge though. I want to keep a chip on my shoulder, because folks will play with you. We don't live in the same world no more. You know what I'm saying?
Not at all.
So I'm a very well-rounded and centered person. But just don't play with me, because I gotta keep that, because I know what happens when you put your guard down.
Most definitely.
They gonna play with you.
Most definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Life is like boxing. Protect yourself at all times.
All time.
Keep your guard up.
Yeah.
Always be prepared.
Yeah.
But don't always let that be the main side that is shown of you.
Right.
You know, there's through the things I've been through in life, the training that I received, it's always going to be there. It's always going to be there with you as well. It never goes away. We grew up different. You see, that's just even being here in Memphis. When I left, I took Memphis with me.
Right.
The mentality that I did, and I survived, and people were in fear. Working, and you know, I got a chance to speak and talk with Navy SEALs and even work out with them, and they would tell me, you know, when they first met, they were like, "Where are you from?" I'm like, "From Memphis." "I'll never go there." Nope.
Right.
It's always in us. It's because we grew up in this.
Yeah.
So it's never going nowhere.
Right. In a moment of silence, when you reflect on all you've been through, what truth do you hold on to the most? So something that throughout the stuff that you've gone through, life then showed so much what stands like true to you. This, no matter what happens, this is always gonna be what it is.
Love yourself no matter what. Love yourself no matter what.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, people can come into your life and they can place doubt into your mind, you know, about yourself, or you want to blend in and fit in with somebody else. But if you stay true and to yourself and love yourself no matter what, you're never alone.
When you dealing with the youth, and when I was dealing with the youth back in 2006, 7, you know, it was different. Well, just that, it was different. What's your message to them? Like, how do you? I know your testimony is already enough for them to sit down and listen to you. After that, after you get that engagement, what's the main thing you deposit in them that you know is the first step, and you see once you give them that, they're gonna take it and run with it.
You have to develop yourself. You have to stay strong to yourself. You have to, especially if we speak with young men, you have to take care of your family. Most of them that we are around, they are in single parent homes. You are the man of the house and act accordingly.
Okay.
When you start giving responsibilities and start putting pressure, it doesn't have to be much, but just a little pressure for them to do better.
Yeah.
That's when they start to develop. My co-mentor always said all the time, 1% better every day. Just 1% better every day. And in 1 year, 365, in 1 year, you're a different person.
Right. Every day, just a little bit every day.
Just 1%. It ain't even much. It only take that much effort to change. 1% every day.
Man, it's hard as hell for grown-ups to do it, let alone these kids.
But I mean, they get stuck in their ways. The thing about it, and I'm gonna tell you about that. When I first started mentoring, I was like, who? Me? No.
Why not you? Yeah, no, you perfect person. You really didn't accept it when you first?
No, I didn't know. But look, I did. I was when this lady named Tiffany Morrow came to me, and she was like, "I need you to be a mentor. I want you to be an." I was like, "Me? No." I wasn't living right at the time. My mind wasn't,
Yeah.
But after the first time that I mentored, I stopped doing everything that I wasn't supposed to be doing out in the streets. I stopped that and got a regular job. And I wasn't making money as I was, but I couldn't be a hypocrite to these young men.
Right.
I tried to become what I needed as a young man.
Right.
And like I stated before, it was strategic. Strategic men came in my life at pivotal points and told me, blah, 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 or pushed me in this direction, that direction. And now it's my turn.
That's your turn. Right. Let me ask you this. What does normal look like to you now? And is that even something that you aim for?
No, I don't aim for it. Because when I was in the hospital, I remember my doctor came to me and he told me, he was like, "You won't live a normal life." And at the time I didn't understand. Well, I took it in one way, that I was going to be handicapped. But now I look back at it, because I remember when I first got out of boot camp, they send you to your A school. You do your A school, then they send you home for 2 weeks, and then you go to your command. But my first stop, instead of going straight home, was I put on my military uniform and I went back to that burn hospital, and I walked that same floor where I was laid in, and some of those doctors were still there, and I told them, "Thank you for saying that. My life isn't normal." Most of the people I've been around, they haven't touched every continent on this planet. They haven't taken shots at Nagasaki or jumped out of planes or fought in wars or did anything like that. So what your sense of normal is, I probably don't want it.
Right. That need to go on a shirt. Yeah. Hey, I can dig it. I like that. I like that.
I probably don't want it.
Yeah. You know what? I even look at the word crazy different now.
Most definitely.
Yeah. Because the stigma we put on crazy is like, somebody that's just, look like they doing something out of the ordinary and that maybe they need help, but maybe they see something.
They see something different.
They see something different.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's programmed. I cut the TV off maybe about 15 years ago. I don't watch TV. I'm very strategic of what get put into me.
Right.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you this question. Do you think it's normal for people to sit back and watch and worry about what a millionaire's person is doing?
No.
Do you think that's normal or crazy?
Nah, that's
You're not even focused on yourself.
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying? So the word normal or the word crazy, it just depends on what your mind state and your mind frame is, how your thought process moves.
Right.
Some people's other life is other people's everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not
Yeah.
even, that doesn't even compute to me. I think that's insane.
Right.
You're not even focused on yourself. So just depending on how you take the word crazy is, or normal.
I think they're interchangeable. I think now we live in a parallel universe. So
100%.
again, what's normal is crazy and what's crazy is normal, and vice versa. But how do you think with your situation, how did that frame the way now you look at life?
Man, I look at it at a broader stroke. You know, I've lost it before.
Yeah.
So I won't lose it. If you see, no, I won't misuse life.
Yeah.
You know, I was an alcoholic for years after I got out the military. You know, I used to drink a fifth a day, and I got, you know, got into a stagnant point. That won't happen again. You know, things that there's regrets that I have in my life. I have tattooed on me in Arabic. It says, "I repent, I apologize for the things that I've done on this planet." You know, and yeah, I look at life as it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, man.
Yeah.
I'm alive. Any day above 6 feet, any day above 6 feet is a good day.
Right. Man, all right, man. I got one last question for you.
Yes, sir.
If there was one thing that you could say to the guy who did this to you, what would it be?
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you. You know, you played your role in my life. I've had people contact me after reading my story, or I remember I moved into these apartments over here, right? I was looking at some apartments in Midtown, and I was doing COVID. I had a mask over my face. You know, everybody had to wear those, and the lady was touring the apartment for me, and she was like, "What do you think?" And I was like, I took my mask off, and she just stood there. She was like, "Oh my God." I was looking at her, what?
Right.
She was like, "I wrote my college dissertation about you."
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, crazy. Another time, you know, after there was an article that came out about me on Facebook. You have that message request inbox, right?
Yeah.
Didn't know anything about it.
You went to it and seen all the messages in there.
Yeah, I had to use Google Translate, and it, from all these different countries, and people was, you know, saying, "Man, you helped me. You helped change my life." About 2 years ago, I got a message from a man. He said after he read the article in my life, he was on drugs. He went and got off of them, got his life together. Now he lost his kids. Now he went and got his kids back off of reading the story. So life isn't about me anymore at this point.
Right.
You know, me trying to live a normal life, help inspire other people to live theirs. So just knowing him, you know, he probably still doped out. You played your part.
Right.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Man, I want to say to you, Justin, man, you are an inspiration. Just by me sitting here talking with you, I know your heart is exactly where, you know, you're in the position where you're supposed to be, and I feel like your character, your heart, your mind, everything about you is gonna take you even further. What happened to you is it's a blessing in disguise, because you became a blessing to so many other people. I feel like you are a superhero because your power. I mean, superheroes come and they save people's lives. It ain't got to be from saving them from a burning building, or, you know, a bus that's about to flip over a bridge. They can literally come and speak life and speak life and make somebody change their life and change their whole trajectory. I feel like that's a real superpower, brother. And I just wanted to give you your flowers, because regardless of what happened to you, there are people that love you. There are people that's counting on you, and there's going to be people in the future that's waiting to meet you, just touch you, and just to know who you are is a privilege. So I tip my hat to you, brother.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, man. Is it one last thing that you wanted to say in closing?
Well, like I said, I got a book coming out. It is called The Scars We Carry. This book is about my life, but it is a self-help motivational book where you might not have to go through the things that I've had to get the lesson from it. I'm going to go from when I was burned to mentoring. It's a lot of lessons from me being an alcoholic to me being stagnant. It's a lot of things in there that might help somebody move forward in life. I don't want anybody to have to live a tenth of the life I've experienced. So if I can take this knowledge and push it on to the world and help somebody, I'm with it. And go Road Runners.
Shout out to the Road Runners, man.
And one more thing.
Yeah.
And thank you, brother. I'm so sick of these relationship podcasts, man. I'm so glad. Look, if a man don't just be a man and a woman be a woman, you know what I'm saying, and figure it out and stop looking for somebody else to tell you how to live the relationship that they don't even have. Just,
everybody expert now.
Everybody expert now, man. Look, chill out. You know what I'm saying? You had 2 girlfriends and or 2 boyfriends, and now you got a podcast sending people down the wrong path.
Why is it so complicated? Why we need to, like, I don't mind, like, man, all right, come on.
Yeah.
We look, that's why I'm gonna have you back on, because now you can, I see what type of value you offer to the conversation.
Yeah.
So we done had a few podcasts. I done had some women on, and we talked about it, but it's a podcast out now, and I'm not gonna bash them. It's actually a cool podcast. When they, I forgot the name of it, they got the panel, they do live shows and stuff like that. They talk about relationship. So my girl was telling me, they gonna be in Atlanta or they gonna be here or something like that. I said, baby, that's more or less for probably like young people, because what they talk about to me, it just don't have no substitute. They playing. It's just about, they not really like, it's all the stuff they talking about is fake. You know what I'm saying? And it's just for entertainment. If we really got into the psychology of how a man is wired and how a woman is wired, then we could possibly come together. It just look like they arguing on stage. It just don't. It's too much.
There's no substance, like you said. It's a can of greens instead of going and picking them and cooking them yourself.
Right. Yeah. I don't even eat canned food.
Yeah, that was it. No, I'd rather get this fresh, pick fresh. Meat never frozen. I don't like frozen. None of that. No, nothing. I like all mine's fresh.
Right. Yeah.
But I got no kids, so I can go shop at the deli.
I know that's right. Me either, man.
But yeah, like I said, I really appreciate you for having me on.
No problem, man. No problem. Well, this is your first. Hopefully, it ain't your last, man.
Most definitely.
And we'll see y'all on the next episode. You did.